girls do get abortions. That's a problem. But the main problem is when these girls are little, when they're first learning about sex, where's that intervention right there? Everybody's fighting over, abortions, no abortion. I personally would never have one, but I won't judge. I personally would help somebody who came to me. That's my opinion. But why aren't they educating and stopping the problem before it gets to this point? Like really drilling down to the root cause. Because that would...
Yeah. So what I would say to that is people know what they're signing up for when they have sex.
Not really.
Right.
If you're in an environment where you're poor and that's all you know.
You think people don't know that sex makes babies?
Yeah, but if that's how they've been raised their whole life, just baby after baby after baby, and their mothers, most teenage pregnancies come from mothers that are teenage pregnancy, that comes from mothers that are teenage. They don't know any other life.
I'm the result of that.
See? And don't you think that if the two sides come together and figure the root cause of the problem?
There's nothing to come together on. They're killing babies in there. You see this?
Yeah,
you
I
look
know.
at that, that's part of why you
never.
stopped, right?
Yeah,
okay.
I would never.
So you think that I can find common ground with people who do that?
I'm not saying I personally would never do it.
Sure.
But I'm saying the root cause is try to stop the pregnancy in the
root
beginning.
cause is sin. That is the root cause. So people, are you a Christian?
Yes, very much so.
Okay. So then you're aware that
and
sex outside of marriage is
for us, for
amen.
Mistakes.
Sex for sin. So sex outside of marriage is a sin. You agree or disagree?
I disagree. I had 2 babies out of wedlock.
And that was sin.
Yeah, and God
Christ
forgives me.
says that if you lust after somebody who's not your spouse, that you're an adulterer in your heart already.
God forgives me. Do you think you're being Christian and doing what you're doing and judging people without trying to help them at the root cause?
I am helping them. I showed you a list of resources that I'm helping. That I'm offering
after
to them.
they get pregnant. I'm
so
saying
my intention in being here this morning is not to just heap judgment upon them. My intention is telling them that according to God's word, what they're doing is murdering their own son or daughter. They're going to have to answer to God for that one day. Can I finish my thought?
Yes, absolutely.
They're going to have to murder that. They're going to have to answer to God for that one day, right? And I'm here telling them that they can turn from this place, and I will give them a list of resources that will help them. If they need adoption, I will adopt their baby personally out of my own pocket. I'm here offering help to women who have done this sin, committed this evil, and are about to heap evil on that sin by killing their baby.
I'm not so sure. Me being a true Christian and me being, I love my kids. I had them out of wedlock. I absolutely love them. My mom was a pastor.
God works evil for good.
Yeah. But I'm not so sure I would want you, who's so judgmental and so,
What's judgmental about me saying that I love you and I love your baby and I want your baby to live?
Yeah. But you also said sex is a sin before.
It is.
Okay. So why didn't you try to prevent that sin? Why are you just picking this sin?
This is the sin that's going on here this morning, man. I'm here at the gates of hell where they're performing abortions. What do you want me to focus on? Bank robberies?
No, I just
think so
that...
do you understand the logical fallacy of what you just told me then? You don't understand what I do with most of my week, right? I spend time evangelizing events like First Friday as well and telling people to turn to Christ for all sorts of sins. But the primary sin that's being committed here is abortion. So why would I talk to people about theft as they're walking in to kill a baby?
But if you're on a platform, and obviously you have a platform in other environments, are you preaching a platform where you want people to hear what you're saying?
I want people to hear God's word.
Yeah, God's word. But we're all sinners in some way. You've sinned.
Absolutely, yeah. All except Jesus.
Yeah, right.
The only thing that separates me from these people is that I have Jesus and they don't. That is the one difference between us. Christ has given me a new heart, and their hearts are still made of stone, so they're putting their own selfish desires above the desires of their children that they already have. They need to hear that they're already mothers and fathers, and that nothing is going to change that. They'll just be a mother or father who killed their baby. That's what they need to hear when they walk in there. They need to hear that God will forgive them, that grace and forgiveness is available to them, but they also need to hear that God is...
if somebody has an abortion, they're no longer ever going to be saved?
I think it's strong evidence that they were never saved in the first place. Do I think that somebody who's had an abortion and comes to Christ later can never be saved? Of course not. Of course not. The grace of God is so powerful. He forgives murderers like people.
I appreciate you say that.
People who've done thousands of abortions. There's people who've left actually performing the act of the abortion itself and come to Christ. And I'd say they're my brother in Christ.
Out of just curiosity, how many people have you turned away from here?
I've only been doing this for about 4 weeks.
And how many people have you turned away from?
None yet. but I am connected to ministries in which dozens of people have turned away. End Abortion Now, you familiar with them?
Mm-mm.
You should look them up. It's good stuff.
I mean,
They do what I'm doing out here. They've helped tens of thousands of babies who are alive today because of what they do that you're taking issue with. You
No,
say you're
I'm not
pro-life. How are
taking-
you saving these babies' lives?
Well, let me tell you what. I talk to teenage girls.
Mm-hmm.
I offer them counseling before they get here. Right when they're coming here, they're making that decision. They need intervention before they come here.
They need intervention here too.
Yeah, but
They need to know not to kill their babies. They need to hear that voice as they're walking in there. Because when they come here, a lot of them think that they're hiding from God. God knows what they're doing. It's very,
have you ever had a conversation, a true conversation with somebody,
yes.
and you weren't able to talk them down from it?
Oh, you mean somebody as they're walking
Uh-huh.
in? Again, I've only been doing this for a short time, so not yet. I have had conversations with people who are pro-abortion that changed their mind.
Pro-abortion.
Yes.
No, I'm talking about an actual human being that was
Yeah,
on the
and
verge
I answered
of...
that question. I said I've only been doing this for a little while, so I
So,
haven't
in
done that.
any other platform you haven't, like through your church, through any other...
I've talked with people who are pro-abortion and
Okay,
talked them away from
pro-abortion.
it.
Okay. Well, I would urge you to reach out to the actual girls that are going through this and see if you can work
That's what I'm
with
doing
them.
here.
Yeah, but screaming at them is
I'm not screaming
doing
at
that.
them.
Or saying, I mean, I'm not going to argue your process or your methods. I'm just saying,
Isn't that what you came to do, though?
not really. I just was wondering out of curiosity. I've
Mm-hmm.
wanted to stop here all along and see if these people that sit here and do this, if they've actually ever done anything to help before they get to this point. And so
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I was just curious.
Gotcha.
Because I'm thinking the root cause is what we need to be looking for a solution to.
The root cause is sin, and sin needs to be addressed in wherever it is, whether it's here or other places.
Yeah. But sin is the ultimate. The
Mm-hmm.
root cause needs to be addressed.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, you're taught in school stealing is bad. You're taught in church, it's just like, I just think there's a greater solution that needs to happen to stop this.
Like what?
Intervention before it even gets to this point, before the girls get
Sure,
pregnant.
but what about those who get past that point and come here? We just leave them to commit the abortion, say nothing?
I would not. I
Hmm.
mean, I would hope there would be legislation that they have
Are you
to
familiar
go
with
through
Proverbs
counseling.
chapter 24? It tells us to rescue those who are being led to the slaughter and hold back those who are stumbling to death.
Mm-mm.
It's a biblical command
Yeah.
in the book of
I'm not
Proverbs.
judging you for doing this. I'm just saying I wish that we could all come together to find out
There's no
how
coming
to prevent
together with
this.
that.
No, I completely agree. I would never do that.
Okay,
But
so are you telling me to find middle ground with those people?
no, I'm saying find middle ground with those people to prevent, because I'm sure and I'm going to go have a conversation with them too.
Mhm.
Why have they not thought of a solution before the girl gets pregnant?
They don't care about abortion.
Mhm.
So let me tell you this. That woman in the hat
Mhm.
right there, one of the volunteers with the escorts, we call them death escorts. She's wearing that hat, right? As someone was walking in to the abortion last Friday, I told them that in that abortion, they're going to rip your child's arms and legs off.
Mhm.
And they're going to crush
It's
their
very
head.
devastating.
They're going to take the baby out of you and reconstruct it on a platter, right? That's what I was telling the person walking inside. That lady with the hat said, "You're lying." She said, "You're lying to these women." And so I said, okay, if I bring evidence next week that this is what actually happens in abortions, will you leave Planned Parenthood and come join us out here on the street trying to save lives? That's why I brought that. It's the first time it's here. I specifically bought that to be able to show to her for evidence. I brought it. She refuses to look. She does not care. None of them care that abortions are happening. They want abortions to happen. Most of them probably trying to mask their own previous abortion.
Yeah. Well, I personally, I'm
Let
not.
me, if you're a Christian,
Yeah.
go and talk to them and tell them to turn to
going to.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm gonna
Tell
go
them to
talk
flee from the
them.
horror of abortion and turn to Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I would just like to see what they're doing to prevent this. Okay.
God bless you.
I would just like to talk to them and see what they're doing to prevent this.
Sure. I'd be interested to hear what they say.